Good morning. Today we are continuing on with those ratios. We are doing Po30, power objective. Po30, we need to know this. I can write a unit rate for a given ratio. So a unit rate is a rate or ratio or fraction with a denominator oh my, why is it being goofy on me? I think because the garland is touching the screen, it's messing it up. This is going to say denominator. Denominator of 1. Important thing to remember, when we're talking unit rates, we always want to make the denominator a 1. So you need to look at the scale factor that you use for that denominator. Whatever you do to the bottom, you do to the top. So that bottom we want to bring to a 1. Sometimes we will divide down to a 1. Sometimes we're going to multiply up to get to 1. So we're going to learn when we do what. So if we have $12 for 3 gallons of gas, our unit rate, our question we ask is how much money per 1 gallon? Oh my goodness. Yep, it wasn't doing this in the other class. I don't know why that must have fallen down, and it's really goofing it up. So we know that says gallon. Imagine it says gallon. We're going to visualize the word gallon right there. So how much money per 1 gallon of gas? So if we're going from 3 gallons to 1 gallon, what do we do to get that? Gavin? We're dividing by that factor of 3. 3 divided by 3 gets us 1 gallon. So how much money is 1 gallon? $4. 4, because 12 divided by 3 gets us that 4. So now we want to look at the unit rate of 280 miles in 4 hours. This is something that we see all the time. Where would I see something like this, Clara?
Station.
At the gas station, it's telling us how many gallons. That would be this top one, how much money per gallon. Where would we see that miles per hour? Finley? In the car. When you're driving on the road, do you ever see speed limit signs? 40 mph. Miles per hour, mph. Miles per hour. So it brings us to the unit rate of how fast can you go in 1 hour. All right. So if we're going 280 miles in 4 hours, we're going to bring that down. We want to know how many miles per hour well, if I'm going from 4 hours to 1 hour, what math am I doing? Leo? Nope. To go from 4 down to 1. How do I go from 4 to 1? What am I going to divide that 4 by? Yeah, I'm going to divide it by that denominator. 4 divided by 4 gets me 1 hour. Right? Now, I have 280 miles. How do I figure that out? Leo? Yeah, 280 divided by 4. So you were trying to jump ahead on me. Don't jump ahead. Listen to the questions. 280 divided by 4 is what? Leo? 70. I can go 70 miles in 1 hour. So when we see MPH, we need to know that that means miles per hour. So those top two, we have whole numbers as our denominator. We divide by our denominator to get down to that 1. Look at our last one, 35 claps in a quarter of a minute. In 1/4 of a minute, I can do 35 claps. How many claps can I do in 1 whole minute? What math am I gonna do? What do you think, Colton?
You divide 1/4 by 35.
Because 1/4 divided by 1/4 does not get me 1. What am I gonna divide 1/4 by to get me to 1? Do I divide 1/4 by something to get to 1? What am I gonna do, Ellen?
Multiply.
Multiply what?
By 4.
Because 1/4 times 4, 4 we know is 4 over 1, right? So I get 4 over 4. What is 4 over 4? It's 1 whole. So if we have a fraction as our denominator, we're not dividing down, we're multiplying up to get to 1 whole. So when you see a whole number, you divide down to 1. When you see a fraction, you're gonna multiply up by the denominator of the fraction. That's what gets us up to 1 whole. So whatever I do to the bottom, I do to the top. How many claps can I do in 1 whole minute? Finley? 140 claps. Does it make sense that our number is bigger? If I'm going from 1/4 of a minute to 1 whole minute, my number's gonna get bigger, right? If I'm going from 4 hours down to 1 hour, my number's gonna get smaller. So if you have a fraction on the bottom, you're multiplying up. It's going to be bigger to get up to that 1 whole. Joe?
What's our question?
Oh, what do you think our question would be?
How many claps?
How many claps per minute? So to find the unit rate, write the rate as a fraction and simplify it to have a denominator of 1. By doing this, you're calculating how much of the numerator would equal 1 unit of the denominator, thus the name unit rate. So, let's scroll up and look at our work. Find the unit rate, show your work. So we're gonna put what the scale factor is that we're either dividing up or multiplying up. So what is my scale factor for 18 apples in 6 baskets? What am I gonna do? Am I dividing or multiplying? Holland,
Divide.
what am I gonna divide?
6.
Yeah, I'm dividing out by that factor of 6. Because 6 divided by 6 is 1. I'm gonna put my label. Labels are important. Put your labels. So 6 baskets goes down to 1 basket when I divide it by 6. How many apples would be in 1 basket? Gavin?
3.
3. 18 divided by 6 gets me 3 apples. I need to see labels. On the test, if you don't give me labels, I won't give you credit, because I won't know that you know what those numbers mean. So giving me those labels is telling me that you know what those numbers mean. When we see it with a word, what do we have to do? What's our first step gonna be? If they don't give us a fraction, what do we have to do? Joe? We have to make it into a fraction. So $33.16 for 12 ounces. Then we have to make our unit rate. What am I dividing it by? And what does that equal? I want to bring it down to 1 ounce. How much money would that be? Does that make sense? So your answer should be in that unit rate with fraction form. If we have a fraction on our bottom, $22.50 for a third of a day of work, what math do I have to do? Ellen?
You times it by 3.
Yeah, when I have that fraction on the bottom, I know I'm multiplying by that denominator. I am multiplying both the top and the bottom by 3. 1/3 times 3 gives me 1 day. Then I figure out how much money I would make in a full day. Is it going to be more or less than a third of a day? More, right? So your number is going to be bigger than $22.50 because you're not working a third of the day, you're working the full day. You're gonna make more money. Okay? So whole number, divide down, fraction, you multiply up. If you're given it as words, put it into your fraction-looking ratio. Any questions on that? Finley? Definitely. Then on the bottom, we have some word problems. When it says to the nearest dollar, I'm gonna change that. Hold on. So look down here. He put his answer as cents. To the nearest cent. So that's the 100th place. So instead of doing the nearest dollar, do the nearest cent. And we know when we're working with cents, we have that 10th place and the 100th place when we work with cents, right? Rounding it to the 100th place. Does that make sense? Okay. Go ahead and, were there any more questions? All right, so you are going to work on this. When you finish, if you finish before class is up, packet number 5, okay? Packet number 5. There are some formulas that we need to know for that packet 5 that I will give us formulas. I'm not going through each page, making a video for each page, but I will put formulas up there so people will have the formulas to be working on it. Next week, we'll make the video. Either the end of this week or the beginning of next week. If you are watching at home, I hope you are well. I hope to see you soon. Have a wonderful day. Don't forget to like and subscribe.